and thank you for joining us on the Inside Track on Real Estate with the Decker team. And I'm Yetta Decker, and the smiling guy next to me is...
It's Ken Decker.
And we're happy you're here with us today. Today, we're going to come back to a topic that we've already talked about, and that's because you seem to want to hear about it some more, and we're getting amazing interest for our wealth building workshops.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We offered a really special deal.
A really special?
A special.
Okay, perfect.
And so we're actually going to do it again because we sold out and we
Who
don't want
are we doing it for again? For me or for...
No, for our listeners and for our viewers. And we're going to do a wealth building workshop on May the 9th.
And that's Thursday, May the 9th?
Mm-hmm. From 6 to 8 p.m.
Right, because we have attempted to run them a little shorter, and there's way too much, as Ken says, wealth of information.
Yes, and some people say I'm just a windbag full of air, so it takes me a while to get everything out.
All right, so there's lots of really amazing information.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. It's pretty weird. Some people think money can't be fun, but I have a lot of fun with it. And we're going to really give you some great tips on building wealth. And we're going to go over a few of those during our show today. Now, we're going to give little tidbits. We're not going to tell you the whole thing because, first of all, I can't do it in half an hour. And
no, you couldn't. You can't barely get started in half an hour.
That's right. Thank you. And second of all, especially with you beside me.
That's right.
And second of all, we just want to pique your interest so you actually come out and see us.
Right. And the whole idea with being at the workshop, notice we're not calling them seminars, we're not calling them teaching sessions, we're calling them workshops. And that's because it really is a workshop. There is some interaction, there is some interplay between Ken and you, as well as between you and some of the other folks that are participating.
Yes. So one of the specials is that I'm going to be giving out a free copy of my book, The Wealth Formula. And it's going to be for the first 20 registrants, first 20 couples or
And the
individuals.
last workshop did sell out.
Yes, it did. We have
and we gave them away then too.
Yes, we did.
That's why it sold out, you think?
Maybe. There's a big demand for it. If you don't get in on this or you can't make the workshop, you can pick up a copy at Salem Storehouse.
That's right, on Merivale Road.
Yes.
Exactly.
And they're available there. You can buy them there. You can also order an electronic version, an ebook from Amazon.com.
Or you can buy copies through your website.
Yes, you can.
Wealth-formula.com.
So we're going to hit a few of the tidbits in the book. The book is a great book. It's written as a story. I've had lots of comments that people are relating with the couple. They're saying, "Wow, I think you were talking about me when you wrote the book." So,
and he really was talking about you. If it sounds like you and you can relate to it, he was talking to you specifically.
Yes. And the book's really designed to get you out of debt totally and then start building wealth. And when I say totally, I'm talking consumer debt, not necessarily mortgage debt.
Or investment debt.
Or investment debt. And then we start building wealth through quite a number of aspects in the book. So the wealth building workshop that we're having on
Thursday, May the 9th.
From 6 to 8. We'll briefly touch on debt elimination. And that workshop is more about building wealth than it is debt elimination. Although the first step to building wealth is getting out of debt.
Out of consumer debt.
Right.
And having some assets to be able to work with, because it's pretty difficult to invest if you have nothing to invest.
And so if you're sitting here going, well, I've got nothing to invest, I spend every dime I get, I can barely make my bills, there's more month than there is paychecks, then probably the workshop for you is Lynn Fraser's workshop, which is financial fitness. And you can check her website and find out the next date.
Well, generally it's the third Wednesday of the month, so it will be the following Wednesday after this Thursday.
Wow, I'm glad you're here. You're a wealth of information.
Well, it's all about wealth, isn't it?
It is. Okay, so we're going to have great information that night. We're going to also offer a free one-on-one consultation. Now, we did this last time. The clients that have been coming in just love it.
Maybe we should do some testimonials.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring some people in once they build some wealth. We'll bring them in for testimonials. What they love about it is I give some great forms that they fill out so that I can see a real snapshot of where they are, what income they have, what you're spending, and what your goals are. And then I just make a simple 4 or 5 recommendations
Up
of the
to
next
7 I've seen.
Oh, you've seen 7?
Yeah,
Okay. The next steps of things to do. And it really is eye-opening for a lot of people because they don't spend a lot of time on their finances, and this is my area of gifting. And so I can very quickly, in about a half an hour to an hour, get a picture of what the next steps are to move them along that financial wealth building
Continuum.
continuum. Yeah, no matter where they are, I can move them to the next couple steps. Yeah. And that's really exciting. And the light comes on for people, and we pray with them, and they're just delighted. So if you want that one-on-one,
then ideally come to the workshop first, because the workshop will give you a really good base understanding of the concepts and the foundation of what we're going to be talking about, or what Ken will be talking about in the consultation. And then the consultation brings much more value.
Yes, and the consultation is free. It's runs usually about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on...
Unless I come with you, and then it seems to take a little longer.
Yeah, so I don't usually bring you along.
No.
Because you keep interrupting me.
I know, isn't it great?
It's great, thanks.
You're welcome.
So we're going to talk about how to become an automatic millionaire.
Does that mean I have to do nothing?
No.
Oh, okay, I knew that.
You have to do a couple things, but then it's like it's put into a slow cooker or a pot, crock pot. And it's
you bring me so I can fill in the words you can't say.
You're awesome. So it actually, you set up steps so that automatically things happen on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, so that you're building towards that wealth that you
So can I talk about dollar cost averaging? Does that kind of fit as one of the little tidbits that works into that automatic conversation?
Yes, we will talk about dollar cost averaging.
Can we do that?
Right
Just
now?
for a split second? Yeah.
Sure. What would you like to say about it? Dollar cost averaging just simply means by buying on a monthly base or weekly or bi-weekly right off your paycheck into something that's volatile, like the stock market or mutual funds that go up and down. When the price is down, you're still putting in the same amount of money, so you're buying more shares. When the price is up, you're putting in the same amount of money, but you're buying fewer shares.
Right.
So when you average it out, you actually buy more shares when they're on sale and fewer when they're more expensive. So your average cost of your share is less than if you just bought at the average price.
Right, which
so
sounds a little confusing, and yet it really does work out. If when he lays it out on paper for you at the workshop, it'll all fall into place and make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about earning tax-free income.
I like tax-free income.
And when I say earning, I don't mean earning like go out and dig ditches and sweat and work hard. I'm talking about passive income that can be 100% tax-free.
Okay.
That's pretty exciting.
That's very exciting. So you're going to share the details of that at the workshop.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about waking up your lazy asset.
Yes, or lazy assets.
Assets, yes. Because we just want to give your assets a job so that they're making more money for you than they would just sitting there.
Okay, that makes lots of sense and very helpful. We've done some of that, and it's effective.
Yes. So we're also going to talk about RRSPs and cash products that are different than the norm, because most people find that when they, and it's kind of weird, this guy here talking about real estate and we're talking about other products, because it all blends in. The portfolio wealth building has real estate in it, and it has RSPs and TFSAs and RESPs and life insurance. And so when I do the consultation, I talk about all those things, and we get a real great package of leaving there knowing that if I take the steps, that you'll have financial peace around what you're doing with the resources that God's given you. So back to these products, a lot of people are putting their RSPs and those type of things in mutual funds or stocks, or maybe even the money market, because they're afraid of the stock market because it's going all over the place, so they just put it in the money market at a couple %, which isn't a bad place because it secures it, and yet it's guaranteed you're losing money because the rate of inflation is over the value of what you're getting in interest. Now, some of the products we're going to talk about are first and second mortgages on different builder products, secured against the property. So there's a little bit of security there, or a fair bit of security there.
Well, a lot of security, because it's invested, or it's secured against the real estate.
Right. Now, that doesn't say nothing can go wrong, because something could go wrong. Developers go bankrupt, builders go bankrupt. At least your money's registered against the land, and if the land's sold, you'll be getting your money back. Those
Right. So secure. It's more secure than some of the other possibilities, and yet there really probably is no investment that is risk-free.
no, and as a
Even
matter of fact,
burying it
that's,
under your mattress
you're
isn't
guaranteed
really
losing. No,
Right.
that's
you're-
risky because it's guaranteed you're going to lose it, and
Or in the
because
cookie jar.
yeah, because the rate of inflation reduces the buying power of that money while it's sitting in your cookie jar or your mattress.
Right.
And who knows, someone may break in and steal it. Especially, don't tell me it's there. No, I wouldn't do that. At any rate,
No, you
the,
wouldn't.
the other thing that's risky is like I've bought some stocks which I thought were a great option, and you know you buy them at a $1.50, and now they're worth 4 cents. So virtually my entire investment is eaten up. Now I'm hoping that they'll go back up. The company still exists, and real estate has never ever done that. It's never fallen to that degree, as far as I know, ever.
Right.
So that's important.
Yeah, there's been fluctuations in the real estate market. However, over the long term,
Yeah.
if you bought a house in 1960 or even 1970 or 1980 or 1990 for that matter, there's no way it's worth less today.
Yeah, even buying precious metals is sometimes dangerous. I know I bought a little bit to test the market, and recently the U.S. government shut down the company that I bought them through because they said they weren't sure they were actually holding the actual silver that I'd bought. So now that investment is frozen until the government figures out whether there's any money there or not. So that was very risky. Love diversification, don't you?
Yes.
So at least real estate's a hard asset. You know where it is. You can insure the building against fire and damage and that sort of thing. And the land, well, hopefully the land doesn't fall off and go down the river or something. So
And we don't have a lot of problems in this area with that kind
no,
of thing.
we don't. So you're pretty secure.
So peace of mind and doing your due diligence. I think Ken's been alluding to that without saying it out loud. And doing due diligence on these investments, some of them are slightly riskier than others, and the ones that are more risky, you're not going to do with your last bit of money. You're going to do it with money that you're not as attached to.
Don't do that with your last dime.
No, or your last dollar.
All right. Well, as a matter of fact, a lot of those investments, the minimum buy-in is $25,000.
Right.
So you have to have a bit of money, and you can move money from RSP into other products without removing it from the RSP and causing a tax implication. So even though you might have your RSP at a bank or wherever, you can move it into a trust company that will manage those.
Right, a self-directed RSP is what you're talking about there.
Yeah, and typically there's some management fees for mortgages, so that's why you don't want a real tiny mortgage, because the management fee will eat up a lot of your revenue. And we want to make as much revenue as possible.
Well, that is
because
the
then
whole
we can
point
take
of investing,
advantage,
isn't it?
Yes, because then we can take advantage of compound
Interest.
interest
Working
or compound
for
rate
us.
of return.
Right.
Working for us instead of against us, like your debts are.
Right.
And it's amazing how quick this snowball can reverse. The debt snowball moved to wealth building snowball can really, really
Pick up speed quickly.
pick up speed. And some of the clients I've been seeing, it's really fun because one of the documents they fill out is their net worth statement. And some people have never done a net worth statement on themselves. And it's very simple. You just put in all your assets minus everything you owe, and you come down with a number that says that's what you were worth.
And these forms, a lot of
In
these
money
forms,
dollars, you're worth a whole lot more. But
Yes,
that's
of course. Even you.
thanks.
You're welcome. And there's a lot of these forms available at wealth-formula.com.
Absolutely.
Right? So you can actually download them and play with them, even if you're not at the point where a workshop, maybe you're not available for this workshop, or you're just not at that stage yet. So certainly you're welcome to download the forms and have some fun with them on your own.
That's because I'm all about giving. And because I'm all about giving, I need to tell you right now that this is halftime. And so if you're just joining us, you're listening to Ken and Yetta Decker on the Inside Track on Real Estate. And today we're talking about our wealth building workshop that's coming up on May the 9th between 6 and 8. And you need to call in to register for that. And we didn't even mention that, how you register,
right.
did we?
No.
So you can call us and register for that at 613-860-4663. 613-860-4663. And when you register, if you're the first 20 people that register, we're giving away a free copy of the Wealth Formula. It's a $26.95 value plus GST, because there is no HST on books, so that's kind of cool. So it's close to a $30 value you're going to get for registering. Plus, we're going to
No,
do
for coming.
For coming, yes.
Because if you register and you don't come, you don't.
We're not mailing out the book. No, you have to show up.
Yeah, you have to attend the workshop, and then we'd love to give you a copy of the book.
Yes, and we're going to do a free one-on-one consultation with you, if you wish, on looking at your situation, where you are now as a whole. We're going to cover everything: life insurance, disability insurance, critical illness insurance, assets. Liabilities, what to do with those, what to pay off first, what to invest in first, second, and third. We're going to put a little plan together, and it's a lot of fun, and it's free. How can you beat that?
You can't.
Okay.
So what else does everybody need to know about the workshop? What tidbits are you willing to give away? You promised some tidbits in the first half, and I've only heard a couple.
Okay, well, how would you like to make between 20 and 30% rate of return on your money?
It always sounds a little sensationalized to me when I hear that.
But how would you?
I'd like to.
Okay, so if I could show you a way that you would make between 20 and 30%, actually we're going to start at 30 and we're going to go down to maybe 20. Would that be interesting to you?
That would be interesting
to
me.
So I'll see you at my workshop?
Yeah, you'll see me there, maybe.
Okay, good. And it's through the power of leverage.
Right.
And the historical rates of returns in real estate is about 5.5% over the last 30 years. And if we go back the last 60 years, it's still around 5.7%, I think. And in the last 10 years, it's been a little higher, probably closer to 6.8 or something like that. And because it's been higher, I'm expecting a little adjustment in the market. So we're going to have a little leveling out for a year or two, and then we should see some...
Maybe a year or two? Are you giving predictions now?
Yeah, well...
Yeah, let's
Depends
not.
on where you live, too, because some areas are still going up, some areas are going down.
And some types of properties are going down more than other types of property.
Yes, very micro. Real estate's very micro. We talk about that each time we talk about the market, which we will be talking about shortly.
Right.
Because it's time to give an update.
It is.
Yeah, what else will we do? We're going to talk about the Rule of 72. We will talk about the power of time, letting time do the heavy lifting.
Right. So not the Methuselah method, though?
No, because most people don't live to 1,000 years old.
Right.
We need to do our heavy lifting in the first 40 years of our life.
Ideally.
Yeah, so, and when I say the first 40 years, I'm talking about the first 40 years of working life. So probably from 20 to 40, if we start doing things...
You said 40 years, didn't you?
Yeah.
So 20 to 40, I think, is only 20 years.
That is. But if we do some heavy lifting in the first 20,
right,
we actually don't have to do any lifting in the last 20 because...
Or in the second 20, because it's hopefully not the last.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the time will do the heavy lifting in the second season of your life. How's that?
The second half of the 40.
Well,
okay.
Because most people are thinking of retiring at 60, 65, or 55, or some people are on the Freedom 95 program.
Yeah.
And so whatever it is that you're looking for, we want to match a plan that's going to get you there.
Right.
Some people never want to retire. As a matter of fact, in the Bible, I've been reading it, the only person I found that retired were the priests that were carrying the Ark of the Covenant and all the tents and all that sort of stuff. And they retired at age 45, and they were just assigned different tasks. They called it retirement because they weren't doing their specific task anymore, but they were still working for the Lord. And I think that's what our goal is, never to retire. Because I just don't see me sitting in an easy chair 18 hours a day.
You're not very good at it, Ken, so let's not do it. And you know what? Just because somebody retires certainly does not state that they're sitting in an easy chair.
No, I know that.
Right.
And so there's lots of ministry things that can happen. I'm just saying, in my particular situation, I never plan on retiring. Because when you love what you do, you never work a day of your life.
Right. So we only work occasionally.
Yes. So let's talk about this market update. I think the end of March, because that's the latest data we have right now, there were 1,500 condominiums for sale at the end of March. That's up considerably. Last March, the end of March, we had 1,175 for sale. So that's an increase of 27%.
And when we say condominiums, we're talking about townhouses, we're talking about apartments, we're talking about terrace homes, we're talking about any type of real estate. It could even, there is a few areas that actually even have single family condominiums.
Yep.
So any type of housing that has a condominium association attached to it.
Well, careful
Well,
there.
not quite.
They have
Okay.
condominium ownership.
Right.
There are freehold homes that
Right.
have a condominium element for like
Right.
a private road.
Right,
or
and
something
those
like
don't
that.
count.
No.
So we're talking about true condominium
Right.
ownership.
Right. And so if inventory is up 27%, what would you think that, well, let's talk about sales first.
yeah.
Sales were 253, which is about 6 months. If you multiplied that out, it would take 6 months to sell what's on the market right now without adding any more condominiums to the market.
And at 6 months, we sort of shift from a balanced market into a buyer's market.
That's our tipping point.
Right.
Tipping point for a balanced market is about 4 to 6 months of inventory. So we're right on the tipping point of falling into a buyer's market. When people say, is it a good market or a bad market? It's always a good market. It depends on whether you're a buyer or a seller. That's all.
Yeah, that's right. It's always great.
It's always a great market. So interesting what the inventory is doing. So what would you expect the pricing to do?
Well, I guess I would expect that the pricing is probably coming down a little bit because I have more supply than I'm
Right.
typically used to having.
Yes.
So that's what my expectation would be. I'm
Supply and
suspecting
demand,
by the look on your face that may not be true, or
No,
is
it
that
is true.
Oh, it is true. Okay.
Yes. 4.1% was the decrease in the average sale price.
So
Now,
that doesn't mean your home decreased.
Not necessarily.
Right.
The problem with average pricing is you could sell a couple $1 million properties in a month one year and none in the next year, and that would affect your average. So you got to look at average over a long period of time. January, the average sale price was actually up a little bit, I believe.
In the condominium market.
In condominium. February was down, March was down in average. So if we start watching that trend, then we might say, well, it's looking like the market is...
And when we say down in the Ottawa market, at least our experience thus far of the past 25 years or so that I've been in the industry, is when we say down, we're still talking...
a couple percent.
Right. We're not talking even over 5. We've never seen a year.
I have never seen
I
a
haven't. Not
year.
since 1989.
You're dating yourself.
That's okay.
Okay.
I think everybody's figured it out by now.
So, yes, you've got the experience. So, freeholds. Freeholds have done an interesting thing. Inventory's up.
Yeah.
4,800 compared to 4,300 March of last year. That's up about 11%. Now, 900 units sold, which is about 5.3 months of inventory. So right in that balanced area. It's kind of a nice place to be. And for buyers, it's fantastic because there's lots of selection. So you get to pick the nicest ones for the best price.
Right.
And for sellers, it means there's still enough buyers out there. They just have to price appropriately for the market.
Right.
Now you might expect, again, inventory is up, so you might want to, you might expect the price to fall a little bit. Guess what? It didn't. In March, the average price was up at 2.7%. And again,
Over last March.
Over last March.
So we're
and
not
again,
doing February over March. I think anybody that's been watching us any length of time or listening to us has gotten
It's
used
year
to the
over
fact
year.
we're talking year over year, same month,
Yep.
rather than February, March, because we do have some seasonal up and down, and that's not part of this. That's more confusing to follow and isn't as accurate, really.
Absolutely. So now, because we're talking about building wealth,
Yes.
and one of my clients has purchased a lovely 3-bedroom bungalow home that they
In the
are
city.
in the city that
Yeah.
they're going to rent out. And so I thought, what a great place to talk about one of our featured properties is actually a rental property instead of a for sale property. And that's one of the things that we offer our clients is that we will put your home up for rent, market it, and then we have an application process. We'll
For
take-
the tenant.
For the tenant.
Right.
And then we will do the credit bureau check on the tenant and give all the information to the landlord and say, this is what we know about the prospective tenant. would you like to rent to them or not? The decision's always the landlord's whether they want to rent or not. We're just
To a
facilitating
particular person.
to a particular person. We are just facilitating that for them. So this particular property, it's near Walkley Road. If you're a good walker, you could walk down to the beach at Mooney's Bay. It's a beautiful location. You're close to amenities. It's just a great spot, and you're very quick into the city as well.
And it's a nice, spacious, renovated kitchen in a 3-bedroom bungalow.
Yeah, and the neat thing about this one too is it actually has some features which allow it to be wheelchair accessible. Because it is a bungalow, the bathroom, one of the bathrooms is designed for a wheel-in double shower. It's quite nice, and everything's accessible. You can't go to the backyard. You would have to go out the front and go around because the backyard has a couple steps.
Right, so you could get there, just not in a wheelchair.
Not in a wheelchair. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because I was getting confused
You
there,
could get
Ken.
there in a wheelchair if you went around.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Right.
And so that's being offered at $1,800 a month?
Yes, and there's a special bonus on that one. Right now it is furnished. If you need a furnished home, we can rent it for $2,000 a month. Only
Okay.
$200 or more. And
For
you got
furniture?
a fully furnished home.
Wow.
So for someone that maybe is thinking of building a house, has sold their house, needs 6 months or 8 months or a year of place to live, what a great thing. Or someone that's being moved in on contract or a consultant that needs to be here.
Right,
This
and
this
doesn't
would
want to
work
buy
well.
furniture.
This would work well for
And
them.
it's on a nice, quiet, tree-lined street?
It is. That's kind of a a realtor thing. Yeah, quiet tree-lined street. It really is. It's full of bungalows, and it's a mature neighborhood. So there's nice sized trees. It's decent sized lots compared to what you get in the newer areas. Has natural gas furnace, central air conditioning for these warm weather we're praying for. Warm weather we're praying for, right?
Yes.
You're
yes.
praying for. I'm praying for.
Yeah.
I got to get my sports car out.
Okay. Anyway, we're really happy that we've been able to share with you about a rental opportunity. So if you know anybody that's looking for a rental in that area, do give us a call. And where
Yes.
would they reach us?
613-860-4663. And if you have a question that you'd like answered on a future show, we'd love to do that for you. You can email us at deckerteam@chri.ca or call us with the question if you want an immediate answer, 613-860-4663. And we'd be delighted to answer it, wouldn't we?
We would. And we've also been offering the opportunity if you believe you have something you'd like to share on this show, and that you have a service or a business that relates to real estate or something to do with the home, the housing market,
Yes.
then please give us a call and we would certainly
We just
have
might
that-
interview you.
We might. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you have a personality. We love personalities.
Everybody has a personality, Ken.
I know.
Even you. Anyway, so if you want to join us at the Wealth Building Workshop, that is on Thursday, May 9th. From 6 to 8 p.m. You must pre-register to assure that there is space, and the first 20 people that register and attend the workshop will be given a copy of the Wealth
That's
Formula.
right. And operators are standing by at 613-860-4663. And we're glad you joined us on the Inside Track on Real Estate with Ken and Yetta Decker. Bye for now.
Thank you very much.